folks, this is another video about my 4th edition booster box. So my last video, I opened up 3 packs. I got about, I think I was a third of the way through, and I'm halfway through. You can see these are my commons and uncommons. Some decent stuff in there, but the rares are obviously what's more exciting. So my last video, I opened up 3 packs, and I expressed some disappointment as to the rares that I got. I got Timberwolves, which by the way I figured out is rare, and apparently the reason for that is that it's banding, and banding is not a green ability. So it's not a very exciting ability either, but apparently, having a green card that bans is enough to make it rare. And then I got Cosmic Horror, which, just kind of a big creature with a high upkeep. It has First Strike, which again, on a 7/7 creature, First Strike doesn't really do much for you because there aren't a whole lot of creatures that are going to be able to kill it. And then I got this Reverse Damage, which is rare, also rare, and it's a decent card. And I was sort of bemoaning the fact that I hadn't gotten any Shivan Dragons, Personal Incarnations, Lord of the Pits, or Force of Nature. And I also mentioned dual lands. I was mistaken. There are no dual lands in 4th edition. That ended with Revised. So there you go. So anyway, after all that complaining, the very next pack that I opened had my Shivan Dragon, which is great news, very exciting. There was a time when this was basically the most powerful card available, creature-wise. It's flying, it's 5/5, and it has fire breathing and no upkeep. So, I mean, there are more powerful cards, more powerful creatures that have arisen since then. This is obviously a very, very, very valuable and very useful card, and this is probably the top card in the 4th edition set. So that was a very good result, and the very next pack after that was my Personal Incarnation, which was also very, very good news. Personal Incarnation is a 6/6 white creature, and the trick is that you can redirect any damage that would be dealt to Personal Incarnation to yourself, and if it leaves play, it reduces your life by half. So a little bit risky, but as far as white creatures go, it's a very strong card. Okay, and then we got Howling Mine. Howling Mine is a very useful card in certain circumstances. It's each player, not just a controller, but every player draws an extra card during their draw phase. So there's one Howling Mine in play, everybody draws 2 cards. If there's 2 Howling Mines in play, everybody draws 3 cards. So this is a good card if you're playing a defensive game with a larger deck and you're playing against somebody with a smaller deck, and as long as you can maintain your defenses and fend them off, you have the opportunity to actually deck your opponent with this card. And there are other cards that can force people to draw cards as well. So that's if you're playing a big deck, drawing extra cards for yourself can be useful too. That's a decent card. And then the very next card after that was Force of Nature. So I now have, set that aside, I now have 3 out of the big 4. I'm still waiting on Lord of the Pit, but I've got Force of Nature, Personal Incarnation, and Shivan Dragon, which I'm very pleased with. Force of Nature is 8/8 trample with 4 green mana as upkeep. The trample, I think, is really what makes this card valuable, because there aren't a whole lot of creatures out there that are going to have 8 toughness. So this is a very good card, good creature. Pretty good for a green deck, which is typically creature-based. And then we get back into the kind of crappy artifacts, Clockwork Beast and Red Mana Battery. Sorry. I look at the cards off the camera. Sometimes the cameras are off cards are off camera. Okay, so those are the first 18 of my 36 rares, and since I have some time on this video, let's open up number 19. Okay, I think that's Mana Vault, but don't quote me on that. Steel Artifact, not bad. Put the rare at the back, and Steel Artifact, Pyrotechnics, good. Direct damage card, I always love those. White Knight, Apprentice Wizard, Grizzly Bear is my favorite Pud creature. Amru Kithkin. Oh, this is one of my favorite cards. This was actually the card that I sent to Quentin Hoover to autograph for me. The Legends version, and the story is I was trying to find the actual autographed card, and I can't find it, which is very disappointing. I was going to do a video about it. Anyway, the story is that the Legends version of this card, the coloring is different. It's more pink. The background is pink, and her outfit is pink. So I figured, I had the 4th edition version. I figured I'd be more legit and send the Legends version to Quentin Hoover to autograph for me. So he autographed it, sent it back with a very nice note that said, here's your autograph card. I'm glad you like the artwork. But by the way, the 4th edition is more true to the original. So there you go. It's a decent creature. It's unblockable by creatures with power greater than 2, which there aren't that many creatures that are like that. But I just really like the illustration. I think it's a really cool picture, so that's why I like this card, and I'm glad that I got one. Pestilence, good card for your black deck. Stream of Life, that's a good combination. You can take a lot of damage in Pestilence to kill a bunch of creatures and hurt your own enemies, and then get it back with Stream of Life. So for Falcon, Pearled Unicorn, Murk Dwellers, Dirkwood Boars, Energy Tap, and one more. Shenandoah Dryads, and our rare is a blue card, and it is Drain Power. Target player must draw all mana from his or her available lands, then all mana in target mana's pool. Target player's mana pool drains into your mana pool. So you get all of your opponent's mana. The drawback of this is that in the 4th edition they still had mana burn. So if your opponent had more mana than you needed, you would end up taking damage from this card. But it's certainly a good way to immobilize your opponent in your turn. So that's good. All right, again, not very exciting, but that's a good rare. All right, put that on the stack of rares, put this in my stack of uncommons and commons, and I will keep going. There will probably be a few more videos about this, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching.